But all right. Hey, hey, welcome back. All right. So, Aquarians, let's go ahead and get to a little full moon message. So, first off, this is the warm moon. It's also known as the sugar moon, which I think is really sweet. The Ojibwa called it the sugar moon because it's a time where they could tap the trees to release the maple syrup. And then the warm moon because it's a time where, again, the trees are thawing out and there's a beetle whose larva thaws out and comes out of the bark. And so that's kind of why we get those names. But in addition to this being the worm moon, the full moon for March, it is also a blood moon eclipse. And so, eclipses can be, for me anyway, I look at them as times where things are hidden that are then going to be revealed. And then because of the warm moon, it's kind of a time for things to come, and get thawed out and come back to life just a little bit. So I want to keep both of those things in mind, but I'd like to begin by asking Aquarius, what is the thing that has been hidden that might be revealed around this eclipse or full moon? King of Swords, Two of Wands, Four of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. The thing that possibly could have been hidden that's going to be more revealed now would be someone was not ever really sure about moving forward. And I'm going to say this is Aquarius who is admitting to themselves, I was never 100% sure about this person. I maybe thought sometimes they perhaps still needed time to heal. I thought they perhaps, I somewhere like deep down, I never quite felt comfortable and felt like I was dealing with somebody who was sure about who they were. Even if they told me they were, I still sniffed the scent of a wound over somebody of their past. It seems like Aquarius is either going to acknowledge I never quite put all my trust in possibly a King of Swords, somebody who wanted to be my partner, but in truth, I thought they were still nursing a wound and remembering one of their exes or something. And I need them to be over that and cut that free so then they can be 100% with me. I think that's the way I would look at it. Now, this, of course, could be in the reverse. It always gets a little bit complicated to tell for sure in a story when we have an air sign showing up, because Aquarius, of course, is an air sign. So this could, of course, be in the full, like, reverse. But we have this Three of Swords. I keep thinking Aquarius is like, look, I'm not looking for a heartbreak. I don't want to deal with somebody who might still be in love with somebody else. I'm not looking for a heartbreak for myself. We have the Sun upright. I want to be happy. I want full clarity. And if I thought this person was probably going to wind up breaking my heart, I think I'm realizing I was right because they still needed to heal. And with that Hermit here, I think this is Aquarius saying, I know why I walked away. I even felt sad about walking away, not because they cheated on me or tried to break my heart, but because I was pretty sure that's the way it was going to go. Now, okay, let's be fair and let's ask a really important question. Did Aquarius assume all of this and self-sabotage, or did Aquarius's subconscious pick this up and they said, I can't help it. This is my suspicion. We have a Page of Wands, which is that first little step on like an adventure. Oftentimes the owl is there, like there was this energy of wisdom. We have an Ace of Cups sideways. I keep thinking Aquarius said, or is saying to themselves, truth be told, I never fully believed that they were healed and ready to be 100% with me. And I always felt like I was only getting half of their energy. I feel like they loved me, but maybe not the way I want them to be able to. Just to be very fair, Aquarius, are you holding on to anything from the past? I asked this question because I'm thinking right now the storyline still looks murky to me and I'm trying to figure this out. Queen of Cups, admittedly, Aquarius has a lot of love, and Aquarius may still love somebody as well. This could be a situation where deep down, King of Pentacles. Okay, so two things can be true at the same time. Aquarius can say, look, I was trying to date somebody, but I really kept feeling like, even if they didn't know it, I think they're still a little in love with somebody else. Um, which means they couldn't fully, be present with me. And I was always still kind of like, I don't know, do I want to go down this road with them? But now we get to it, and we see this other little nugget, which is Aquarius admitting, okay, and yeah, maybe there was a part of me that was similarly still hung up on somebody else as well. I kind of wondered about that once I saw the hermit there. I was like, okay, maybe this is one of those situations where Aquarius isn't over somebody and the King of Swords wasn't over somebody. And perhaps that's just the realization that maybe we both were still holding on to something of the past while trying to build something with one another. Okay, so hang on. If that is perhaps the subtle realization here, and let's let them talk. How is this full moon, this eclipse showing up for you? Oh, Five of Swords in the reverse. This is the King of Swords I'm asking about. They're not upset or mad or anything like that, especially not if Aquarius is like, you know what? I have a feeling you're still in love with somebody else. We have the Knight of Cups. If anything, we may have the King of Swords ready to like have a real heart-to-heart conversation, because I actually think they have a lot of love for Aquarius. I think that they're saying, I would like to be able to fall in love with Aquarius. I would like to start building with you. I'm not mad at all that you would think that maybe I was still halfway healing from something. But again, I'm going to say two things can be true. I can be appreciating Aquarius and seeing them for all that they are and be attracted to Aquarius and want to move toward Aquarius. And yes, still be sifting through and making sense of something else that happened to me at the same time. This is one of those, I think, very relatable messages where sometimes two people want to move on from their past, right? And they meet each other and it's like, you're great and I'm great. And we both like really appreciate each other and we're attracted to each other, but there's still the ghost of exes kind of lingering, or both people still have, some memory of what they've been through. And you can't help it. Like the memory is still there. It didn't just get washed away and in an instant it was just gone. Judgment in the reverse. This is them. And maybe there's going to be a really important, conversation, a really important heart to heart where the King of Swords is able to say, I don't want my ex back. I would like to move things forward with you, Aquarius. I mean, maybe there's some truth that sometimes I still think about what I went through, but it's not because I want my ex back. So it seems like they're still processing things, which is a little different than what Aquarius thought, which is you still need to heal from your ex and I need to be single because, deep down, maybe I still wish that I was with my ex. Let me just ask, if these are some of those, revelations that are coming to the surface during this full moon, especially on Aquarius's side. Aquarius, do you want anything to do with the King of Swords? Page of Swords, I want to be able to take time, maybe pay attention to them, but almost watch from a distance a little bit and just kind of think about things. Okay, Aquarius, are you still thinking about an ex that you might want to reconcile with? Right now, it looks like they're just kind of missing that ex a little bit and wondering if that ex thinks of them during this full moon. Knight of Wands in the reverse, but they don't really want to like have a fling or get into anything. It's not like Aquarius is saying, oh yeah, but I'd love to, hop back in the sack with my ex. I have to say, it kind of looks like Aquarius and this King of Swords are in a very similar headspace. It's not so much that I want an ex back. It's that there's still emotion around an ex. What I'd like is to move on. Now, Aquarius just seems like they need a little bit more time to try to move toward this King of Swords. But, I wonder if this could be a really great match. It's just a bumpy new beginning because each person has their own past history with their exes that still is in their heads a bit. Let me just ask, Aquarius, do you want something to do with the King of Swords, though? And we saw you kind of want to watch from a distance. Ace of Pentacles. Yes, I mean, I would like to have a do-over. It's just maybe I just need a little bit of time. So maybe this full moon is really going to stir things up. And, bear in mind, we're also in retrograde. And now we have a blood moon eclipse. It's a ton of energy to manage. I could understand why Aquarius might be reticent, at least for the moment, to get involved too heavily with the King of Swords, or even feel like they maybe have had a date with the King of Swords or want to plan to get, to know the King of Swords better. But right now they might be going into hermit mode. I could see why Aquarius might be wanting to retreat and just kind of cope with all their thoughts around this, around the ex and around the feelings of, I'm aware I'm not quite done with an ex, like at least in my emotions, even if I don't want him back. And I picked up on a vibe that the King of Swords is also maybe not quite over an ex. And I don't want to get heartbroken by somebody who still wants their ex back. This feels like we are seeing the fragility of characters who, it takes time. It takes time to get beyond the past. It really does. We have an Eight of Pentacles and it is sideways. They're both still a work in progress. There's nothing wrong with this. It does not mean that Aquarius and this King of Swords can't have a wonderful connection. It means that they probably can. And in fact, maybe they could be the best matchup ever because they're both in such a similar vibe. They actually both would like to see where this could go together, but they need a little bit of time and space apart because they're both still dealing with just echoes, I'll say. Maybe Aquarius a little bit more, feeling still some love feelings for their ex. Let me just ask, where is the ex right now? Let's jump into that message. Where is Aquarius's, we'll say King of Pentacles, which is how they showed up. Doesn't have to mean that they are, an earth sign, but they could be. King of Wands, Knight of Swords. Hang on, let me get one more, because that is them moving forward quickly with their heart. Ace of Cups. How do they feel about Aquarius? Judgment. Okay. So I got to say, we keep getting this message no matter what zodiac I get, no matter how many different decks I use, no matter how I try to ask different questions. This is maybe because of retrograde, but a lot of zodiacs have an ex thinking about them right now. And sure enough, no wonder this is probably a pull on Aquarius's energy. That ex that they're thinking about, that they are aware, I was in love with this ex and it's really hard for me to move on with somebody new with a King of Swords, when right now I'm kind of flooded with a little bit of missing an ex. Even if I don't exactly think we're good together, I miss the times that it seemed like we were good. I miss the way I felt about them. I missed the moments when they did share something good with me. Well, sure enough, they're not just a King of Pentacles, they're a King of Wands. And their mind is all over, like feeling I'm in love with Aquarius. And gosh, I'd like to reconcile. So their thoughts, I don't know. Are you going to take an action toward Aquarius? Eight of Swords. They feel like Aquarius probably either won't forget or won't get past whatever water has flown under the bridge. What happened? What is the water that was under the bridge? Wheel of Fortune. Okay, well, there's something here about the divine timing was there. It was the right time when they met Aquarius. Three of Pentacles, though. Normally that would be a great card. But I'm just wondering if they met Aquarius and it was the right time for them, but for whatever reason, they didn't really build. I don't know, though. We have the Queen of Cups, which is how Aquarius has shown up. Aquarius said, I was so in love with them. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So that's what this boils down to. So the reason Aquarius is still holding on to someone of their past is because that somebody of their past fell in love with them. But let's be honest, that someone of the past had a karmic. And although it was the perfect time for them to have left their karmic behind and gravitated toward Aquarius, I'm thinking that they didn't, is most likely why we saw that divine timing. Look, I feel like they blew their chance. And that's probably why even they say, I don't know that Aquarius would forgive me, because I should have and could have gravitated toward them instead. I don't know if the Three of Pentacles hints that they tried to hold on to their karmic and also start some romance with Aquarius, because Aquarius was super loving with them and it was just like, oh my God, this is so great. I really want that love. They think Aquarius might not feel safe taking them back. That's the bottom line. They think Aquarius might not feel safe taking them back. And I'm wondering, since we do have Autumn of Youth written on that Knight of Swords card, I'm wondering if they have a lot of regrets because they came across very immature in the past. And it could have been quite the, the confusion, because Aquarius might have been like, okay, they love me, so why are they with somebody else? I don't understand what this is. How is it possible that they're a King of Wands with a Queen of Wands in the reverse, but then they're trying to, offer me some kind of love? Like, I don't get what they did. Why did they do that? That could be why it's been such a confusion, and why Aquarius would still hold on to the memory of all of that, even though, admittedly, they've met a new King of Swords and Aquarius's life should be changing, and there's a new opportunity here that Aquarius even wants. But it feels like this retrograde, or this full moon, is just stirring up that past. It's just stirring up but man, I wanted that one person from the past, and I loved them and they loved me, and I can't help but for some reason miss them right now, and miss what could have been but wasn't. Can I ask maybe the most important question in this whole story, which is, as we get through this retrograde, as we get through this, this whole energy here of, full moon and eclipse, what's happening? Two of Pentacles, things could come back into balance. Okay, that could be really great, unless that's more juggling. Five of Wands, Four of Wands. Now, this is an important time, not to get confused, but an important time where Aquarius and the King of Swords are both thinking through their past experiences, and maybe even letting go of their past experiences and saying, I certainly on Aquarius's side, it's like, I wanted to be with that ex and I'm missing them right now. I don't even see the ex coming back, though. I see them thinking Aquarius probably won't ever take me back, even though I wish that I could have them back. But it feels like sometimes we have to think through things and even feel the feels and experience the emotions before we can finally say, yes, but you know what? It wasn't that happy. My past with my ex, it wasn't that great. I had to get to the point where even if I did miss them, I missed what could have been. I didn't miss what was. I was sad over what could have been but wasn't. And because it wasn't, now I can let it go, and I can instead look at what options are right here in front of me. Some amazing King of Swords, some amazing Aquarius. Like, I think Aquarius and this King of Swords will think through this whole process and come to the same conclusion. Like, you know what? I'm ready for something new. It's just, this is a tough moment. Aquarius and the King of Swords may kind of like give each other some space right now. And I think that's probably all for the best, so they can sift through these resurfacing emotions that were hidden, that are coming up to the surface. But then I think they'll probably both be able to get beyond that and then start looking at, the present again, which is the opportunity for Aquarius and this King of Swords. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.